Alright, welcome to Let's Learn Japanese, a course series for the self-study Japanese from basics and beginnings up to intermediate and hopefully advanced. Name's Nuke Marine. Today, as always now, is a Let's Read Japanese. Getting a high encoding warning. The idea here is going to be, up above we'll be playing a video of a TV show. Off to my side will be the transcript, or in this case subtitles, that I'll be reading. I now call it subtitles, but it's actually just the text of the subtitles. So it works like a transcript if you look at it like that. The main goal here is, again, get better at reading Japanese. Try to read an hour or two a day, which sometimes comes out to about 20 or so pages, 20 to 40 pages, depending if you do like 2 hours and whatnot, at least at my level. And just keep building up the hours over time as you approach 500 hours. Hopefully the idea is you obtain, essentially literacy. Again, and think about literacy, it's not binary. It's not you're illiterate or you're not. It's again, it's with levels. So there's reading levels that you get at. People say, oh, you read at a 3rd grade level, you read at a 6th grade level, or a 9th grade level. They sometimes do it like that. So yeah, that's kind of what you're doing here. Is you're reading enough, so you're building, and through your study you increase your vocabulary, and reading just improves over time. But you get better at reading by reading a lot. You can improve what you've read by improving your vocabulary. That also helps. But also reading begets better reading. Same thing with the listening. Comprehensible listening begets better comprehensible listening. So it works very similar. The benefit of also when you're reading like this is that when you rewatch these shows, and I do rewatch the shows, you got much better comprehension of the show, so you get more out of that as well. Because you start paying attention to the parts that you realize you didn't understand at first, but now he's like, oh, I was missing that part, but now you do understand it. And again, it's a balancing act. So it's a balance between taking time studying versus taking time reading. Again, I'm kind of repeating myself for those who've been watching these last few days. Just kind of getting out of my system. Really not too much to add. I'm approaching the 100 hours of video being made in this particular series. Also, I'll be, of that were 3 light novels and I think six TV shows. 6 TV shows. So the thing was Zettai Karashi, Hanayori Dango, Rookies, Around 40, Yusei no Kizuna, and then this one here would be the 6th episode that I'll be watching. I'll be adding more to it than that. Those are interesting thing about those particular shows was that these are shows I've also studied through Anki. I've gotten benefits from enjoying the show or getting much more comprehension of the show because I went through Anki. But I think part of it is that takes time, and you kind of want to increase how much you're watching. Let's see, late stream, yeah. For me it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon here, so I try to do it earlier in the morning. I guess I'll get more people watching it in the States if I stream here earlier, and then they can catch it in the evening if they want to catch it live. But the main idea behind I do live stream, but the main idea is that if you want to, you can go and watch any of these, and there's the text off to the side, there's the audio playing. You can actually read and play along. I'm not pausing all that much. I do have to pause to look up certain words, or sometimes I'll offer commentary, not too much. But for the most part, it does look like it's a tool people can go and actually enjoy, used for themselves, without having to go. Now it's also possible, again, do it for yourself, especially with now that Netflix. If you get, you probably have to have a VPN, or again, if you got, you can access the Japanese shows that are Netflix Japan, that are like under the Netflix originals, or whatever they're using to call it, and so you do get access to those. So go and look at it, and also find out if you can get the Japanese subtitles and audio for shows. I think you have that option. I think it's kind of iffy. I'm not of what's possible, because again, I live in Japan, so I got all the benefits that go with that when it comes with Netflix Japan. But if you can't get it through normal means, yeah, utilize a VPN, because I don't think that's you're violating the spirit. I don't think you're going against the spirit of what again, you're renting from Netflix. There's nothing costing them much out of this. That again, they are being compensated. There might be an issue with if you're doing a VPN. Actually, no, I don't think there is a problem, because they'll Their servers will figure out if they're getting access, and it's going to still be your account, so the money's going to go to Netflix. So I don't think you're going against the spirit of the system, even though they're basically following some rules that are outside your control. But yeah, use that. Watch Netflix Japan, and get that sub-dubs and download the subtitles, and you can run it through Subcessor, so now you can get it into a format like I do, and actually treat it like an audiobook, and read it like that for one time, and then watch it normally. I think you'll find the experience is it's a different experience. And again, try this once you get past that 2,000. I think 2,000 vocabulary is the milestone I usually recommend to get to, and try to get to that milestone fast, then start up with this whole reading to Japanese audio. And you can do it start off doing like a half-hour a day, and then build up to an hour, then build up, let's say at the N4 to N3 level, you're doing it for a half-hour a day. We go the N3, you go building up to the N2, do it for an hour a day, and then at the N2 level to N1.5, maybe an hour and a half to 2. However you see it. It's whatever you can fit into your schedule. With your work, you're getting your study life balance. But you gotta make it a part of the schedule. I don't fall in the trap where there are people who've gotten really good in Japanese at a technical level, but and they'll say that they have a hard time just watching shows or reading books because they don't do it. Hana-chan, by 1 hour a day, or is it total, or is it 1 hour long episode? I would say total. But like I said, it's like for me, it's not a 1 hour episode. It just, because I'm pausing and reading and I have to look up stuff, so this takes me beyond an hour. So yeah, it's approaching, like this 45-minute episode takes me about an hour or so to read. If you or like a half hour of a book audio, when I'm reading it takes me about an hour to read. So it's not, don't base it on the length of the TV show or the audio, do it by how long it just takes you to read, if that makes sense. As you get better, you're going to be able to read more than an hour. So it's still an hour of reading, but you're covering more material. You can also extend it up to a couple hours. But again, as you get better at reading, you'll be reading more. And as you study vocabulary, then the amount of vocabulary you don't know is reduced. So there'll still be thousands of words out there, but those 1,000 words fall under that, either 2%. Like, after you've studied the 1,000 most common words, you've covered about 50% of the language. So 1 out of every 2 words you don't know. Get up to 2,000 words, now you're up to 75%. So 1 out of every 4 words you don't know. And there's thousands of words that fall in that 1 out of 4. When you get up to 4,000, now you're up to 90% of the language. So now 1 out of every 10 words you don't know. All right, you get up to 6,000 words, now you're up to 95% of the language. Now it's again, that's 1 out of every 20 words you don't know, but there's still thousands of words in that 5% gap of that you don't know. And you get up to 10,000 words, you're at that N1 level. Now it's 1 out of every 50 words you have to kind of look up. And again, thousands of words fall under that 2%. But you slowly, you might pick, be like Matt versus Japan and get up to 20,000, or I think it's like 25,000 or so. He's got a really good active vocabulary. But even then, there's still, so he's up to like 99% or higher. But even then, there's still thousands of words in that gap, that 1% gap. So you're not going to be getting to 100%. You can't. They're just the vocabulary is just too. Again, native Japanese don't have 100%. It's just a matter of you're closing that gap, and it does. You don't need to. The amount you need to reduce that gap is approachable. It's doable. It just takes time. Even if you're doing like 20, let's say learn 20 new words a day. With the reviews. So in a year's time, that's 7,000 words. So in 2 years' time, you're up to 14,000 words. You're well beyond the N1 level there. You're going between you're going from the gap of fluency up to native level fluency. So, and again, these are things to look at. And again, the part of it that it's going to help is this reading. And yeah, I'm guilty, and I feel like right now I'm doing 1 or 2 a day, and I need to make it a habit. you know, and just keep pushing at it. And I need to also make sure my study catches up. I need to catch up my reviews and then start adding new words. That's all. And don't listen to the bullshit about how, you know, Anki droning. There is some benefit to learning vocabulary through and utilizing Anki to help you with the memorization. Because what I'm noticing when I learn words, they pop up in the reading, and then they're much more visceral. Visceral is probably the wrong word for it, but they stand out better. Like I realize, and there's a happy or a little endorphin release where, hey, something cool happened. You know, this is a word I learned, and I'm getting the benefit because, you know, I'm seeing the word being put to use in something I, you know, just randomly, you know, just through reading. Okay. Enough talking. Let's get started. All right. Thank you for Hana-chan for the questions, and with that, let's see. 4 people watching. All right. If you got spent a week on DJ, yeah, I gotta get away from DJT also. Not really. I just can't be spending too much time on there. Okay. All right. Here we go. This is episode 8. Thinking this one he's gonna be taking care of a dog. And I'll turn down the volume of the microphone down to 40. There's the fish he won last week. Titanic です。
あれ
I'm surprised they didn't notice it during the construction.
あれしょうがないな。もうワンセット買うか。はい、どうぞ。
ありがとう。あ、これなんかどう？すっごくオープンな感じでしょ。外から帰ってきて家族がいるのが少し遠くから見える。ホッとする。
これだとさ、留守の時人がいませんって泥棒に教えてやってるのもんだろ。
でもこういうテイストが今度のお客さんの希望なんですよ。
わからんで。俺はさ、自分が留守の時に他人が家にいることが想像できないからな。だってさ、部屋ん中勝手にいじられたら嫌だろ。
夜帰って暗い部屋に電気をつけるとき寂しくなる？
別に。だってさ、家で待ってんのは人だけとは限らないんだぞ。
何ですか？
この間ね、作ったんだよ。ほら、タイタニックの400分の1のスケールだよ。普通はさ、その船体の部分がさ、
戦隊？ Yeah, 戦隊。
黒なんだよ。これはさ、黒 95%、茶色 3%、青 2% をまず作ったオリジナルブレンドカラーにしてやったんだよ。海外から取り寄せたのさ。
あっちの店の方が安いな。あ、こんばんは。
犬の餌か。
餌じゃありません。ご飯です。
人間の子供が成長すれば親に小遣いぐらいはくれるようになるけど。犬は死ぬまで無駄飯食らい続けるわけだな。
家で私だけを待っててくれる存在のありがたみが桑野さんには分からないんですよ。
せっせと餌を運んでくれる相手を待つのは当然だろう。
それ何ですか？
もうこれか。これはな、君の犬よりもずっといいもんだ。まず餌は食わないし、物静かだし、なんと言っても君の犬との最大の違いは美しいということだ。
ケンちゃん、ただいま。お利口さんにしてた？はい、今ご飯あげますからね。はいはい。
1/400th scale.
痛みは今朝から？
はい、なんとか会社行ったんですけど、もう我慢できないぐらい痛くなって。
多分急性虫垂炎ね。
虫垂炎？
急性虫垂炎。急性虫垂炎。Interesting. 急性虫垂炎。
とりあえず痛み止めを打っとくけど、ほっとくと腹膜炎でもっと痛くなるから。
痛み。腹膜炎。That's inflammation, right? Rhinitis. Retinitis. 腹膜炎。
早いうちに外科の先生に頼んで手術しましょうね。
手術ですか？入院？分かった、課長に言っとくよ。お願いでさ、問題はケンのことなんだけど、入院となると誰かに預かってもらわないと。
ごめん、うちのアパートペットダメなのよ。
やっぱり。それじゃあね。
Yeah, it's pretty common. Like for apartments, they almost very rarely allow pets. From what I was noticing, houses are a different story, and even then, it depends on the owner.
千鶴のとこやっぱりダメでした。
That's the lady's name, right? Yuzuru.
そっか。私のマンションもペット禁止なの。
他に誰かいないかな。あ、お願いね。
分かった。
私これからすぐ入院して4日後には退院できるから。
あれ？
おかえりなさい。なんかみちるさん入院するらしくて。
入院？どうした？暑さでやられたか？
虫垂炎です。じゃあお願いね。
お前犬預かるのか？
犬って言わないでくださいよ。ちゃんとケンって名前があるんですから。これがご飯4日分。それからこれ最近買ったやつ。外からパソコンでうちにいるケンちゃんの様子がチェックできるの。
へー。
散歩は朝と夜30分ずつ。一応注意事項を書いた紙も入れとくから。
Those are instructions, right? 注意事項。一応注意事項を書いて。
よろしく。じゃあね、ケンちゃん。そんな悲しそうな目で見ないで。じゃあお願いね。
うん。
ケンちゃんいい子にしてるのよ。
よし、じゃあ行こっか。
おいちょっと待って、それ中に連れてくか？
そうですよ。
ダメだ。
じゃあどうしたら？
仕事はいいからさ、今日お前それ連れて帰れ。
そこまで毛嫌いしなくても。
そこまで毛嫌い、毛嫌い、毛嫌いはっきりしたり、そこまで毛嫌いしなくても。
うんとかされたら困るだろ。それにこの犬妙に鼻息が荒いし。
そこに妙にbreathing, right? 妙に鼻息が荒い。妙に鼻息が荒い。Really? 鼻が荒いし、鼻息。
可愛らしいと思いますけど。
こんな妙な生き物事務所に入れるわけにいかんだろ。
事務所いるわけにいかんだろ。
エイジが犬。
975円になります。
いらっしゃいませ。
こんばんは。
どうも。
あ、実はね、みちるちゃんが入院したんですよ。
知ってます。エイジが犬預かって。
ああ、大家さんさえ OK なら私が預かりたかったんですけど。
そんなに一人が寂しいですか？
そうじゃなくて、犬も人間も受け入れない人と議論してもしょうがないです。
議論してもしょうがないです。
それ借りるんですか？
足りません。可愛い犬の映画でも探そう。
あ、犬に襲われる映画だったらここにありますよ。
襲われる、犬に襲われる映画だったら
なんか怒ってる？
みちるさんにそんなに親切にする必要あんの？
いや、でも沙織最近彼女とフレンドリーだったじゃん。
別にみちるさんのことは嫌いじゃないよ。だけどちょっと神経疑っちゃうな。
神経。疑っちゃうな。神経。
付き合ってもない男にそんな生もの預けるなんて。
そんな生もの預けるなんて。
生ものって言われちゃったよ。
言われちゃった。
お姉ちゃん、怒ると美貌が台無しだよ。
美貌、美しい顔形。お姉ちゃん怒ると美貌が 台無し。台無しだよ。台無しだよ。
もういい。二人で勝手に仲良くしていれば。うわ、まずった。ちょっと待って、ケンちゃん。ケンちゃん、ケンちゃん、ケンちゃん、こっち。
どうしてこんな時間に？
あ、すいません、ちょっとお話が。
どうも。
どうも。
なんで連れてきてんだ？
それが沙織に私と犬とどっち選ぶのとか言われちゃって。
女に弱いやつだね。
弱いやつね。
で？
桑野さん預かってもらえません？
ありえない。
お願いします。
お前の
お願いしますよ。
いいじゃないですか、ちょっと預かるぐらい。
あれ？
うちの大家さんに頼んでみたんですけど、やっぱりダメで、ペットホテルもこの時間じゃもう遅くて。
保健所に引き取ってもらえば。
保健所？保健所に引き取って。引き取ってもらえば。
たったの4日間です。普段しない経験するのもいいもんですよ。
普段しない経験するのもいいんですよ。あれいい気。
やっぱりダメだ。
そうですか、わかりました。その代わり二度と私のところに診察に来ないでくださいね。
その代わり二度と私の。
卑怯じゃないか。
他に病院はいくらでもあるでしょ。でもこの子は他に行くところがないんです。
ところがないんです。
いくつになってないな。
いくつ？いくつになってないか。
そういうことなんで
とにかく
行きましょう。医者としてはああいうこと言っちゃいけないわね。
どうしますこの子。
あ、
4日間だけですよ。
いいんですか？
しょうがない。
じゃあお願いします。ケンです。
可愛がってあげてください。
犬にお愛想はしません。
お愛想はしません。犬にお愛想はしません。可愛がってあげてください。可愛がる。See, there's a phrase, that's a full phrase. 可愛がってあげてください。
餌やって散歩させるだけですから。じゃあ。
じゃあ。
大丈夫ですかね、部屋に他人を入れるのも嫌な人が。
嫌なの
ほらほら。
As far as the episodes go, this episode has the least amount of dialogue. What I've noticed, like this only had like 8,000 characters in the subtitles. Most of them have over 12 or 13,000.
ほらキュウリだぞ。ほらほらほらほら。ほらほらほらほら。ほらほらほらほらほらほら。犬だな。
犬だな。
やっと使えたな。よし。
That's the plate from last week, last episode too.
餌だ。繋がれてんのがそんなに不満か。あいにくな、この部屋にはお前に触られたくないものがいろいろあるんだな。
別に食べても。結構そう。別に食べてもらわなくても。どうぞ。
別に食べてもらわなくても結構だぞ。
I never really had a past childhood, so I don't know.
思った通りだ。
思った通りだ。
お前の鼻息のせいで寝不足だ。
寝不足だ。OK。
あれ、
あれ、金だ。
金だ。
金だ。
お泊まりか。なんだどうした？
なんだどうした？あれ。弱虫。弱虫。
あるか。弱虫だな。
弱虫だな。
来い。
ほら、大丈夫だ。
ほら、大丈夫だろ。
なんかドキドキしてきた。大丈夫よ。血圧108の50です。そうだ、手術する前にちょっと電話してもいいですか？いいですよ。
誰にするの？
エイジ君に剣の様子ちょっと聞いときたいんで。
あ、
何ですか？
あのね、実はね。
どうして教えてくれなかったんですか？
大丈夫よ。手術前に不安にさせない方がいいと思っただけ。
それって大丈夫じゃないってことですよね。
ポジティブシンキング。
映りますか？
待て。
お客様がお見えになりました。
あ、そう。
お見えになりました。お客様がお見えになりました。
これ何やってるんですか？
ワンちゃんの遠隔チェック。
遠隔チェック。遠く。ワンカクチェック。Make sure I hear that again. 遠隔。ワンちゃんの遠隔チェック。
おお、そう。おとなしくしてんだよ。無駄な抵抗だ。
抵抗。無駄な抵抗だ。
おい、ちょっと模型に近づくな。
模型、模型。近づくな。
おい、戻る。おい。おい。くっそ。
桑野さん。西田様です。
この度はよろしくお願いいたします。
どうも。
こちらこそよろしくお願いします。
お願いいたし
どうぞ。
ます。こちらこそよろしくお願いします。
ではまずご予算のことから。今日は西田様のご希望の最終確認と大まかな予算の話を詰めさせていただくということでよろしいでしょうか。
大まかな、大まかな予算の話を済ませていただくということです。済めさせていただくということでよろしくでしょうか。
ダメだ。
いや、すみません。
いや、すいません、こっちの話です。
オペもうまくいったみたいだし、予定通り退院できそうよ。
ありがとうございます。
ケンちゃんのことなら心配しなくても、連絡がないってことは無事だってことだしね。
ただの気休めに聞こえます。
気休めに聞こえます。
じゃあ
気休め
私がとにかくケンちゃんを引き取ってくる。うちのナースで誰か預かれる子がいるかもしれないし。
本当ですか？
はい、
ケンちゃんのことなんですけど、やっぱり私が預かります。
もう結構ですよ。
え？
沢崎が預かってくれるって言ってますんで。
沢崎です。こんにちは。いいんですか、預かってもらって。桑野がワンちゃんのことで仕事に身が入らないみたいで。
仕事に身が入れない。身が入らないみたいで、仕事に身が入れないみたいで。
すみません。いいえ、仕事のパートナーとしてはここは一肌脱ぐしかないと思いまして。
一腹脱ぐ一腹脱ぐしかないと思いました。
うちのマンションペット自由なんでご心配なく。
そうですか。じゃあよろしくお願いします。
はい、失礼します。
なんだ。
じゃあ頼んだ。あ、何やってんの？
あ、来ないで。やっぱりダメだ。
え？
実は私昔から犬恐怖症だったの。
恐怖症
だったらなんで預かるなんて言ったんだ？
もう治ったかと思ったんだもん。あなたに仕事に集中してほしかったの。
集中して欲しかったの？
ごめん、ほんとごめん。
早い。
いいか、今度いたずらしたら保健所行きだぞ。容赦しないからな。
今度いたずらしたらたずら今度いたずらしたら保健所行きだぞ。容赦しないからな。
ここなら安心だ。
笛好きおもちゃの。
俺が映った。
わあ、かわいい。
かわいいだろ。この犬預かってみねえか。
え、いいの？
ああ、ダメ。
なんで？
ユミアレルギーなんで犬は家に入れられないの。
そうよ、ぬいぐるみで我慢しなさい。
ぬいぐるみ
は
私でよかったら預かってあげるわよ。
え？
その代わり温泉旅行に招待してもらえれば。
その方が大変そうだからいいや。
あ
れ？
す
ごい。便利ねこれ。私もボケてきたらこのカメラつけてもらおうかしら。
ボケときたらボケオッケー。オッケーときたらこのカメラつけてもらおうかしら。
そっちからおい。
手間はかかるけど犬に癒される人も多いんだろうな。
癒される。癒される人も。
独身の人がペット飼うとますます結婚が遠のくって言うもんね。
そういえばしんすけ、あんた子供の頃犬大好きだったのにね。
そんなわけないだろ。
あ、そうそう。私ね、いずれ老人ホームへ入ろうかと思ってんのよ。
え？
ここに入ればあなたたちに迷惑をかけることもないし。
良さそうだな。高そうだけど。
そうだけど。
だから今のうちは売ってお父さんが残してくれた退職金なんか全部。
退 退職金なんか全部
入居するお金に使うんだから。
入居するお金に使うんだから。
あなたたちには一銭の遺産も残してあげられないけど、
あなたたちに一銭の遺産も残してあげられないけど、味からず残してあげられないけど、力ず
24時間弱中に5.1 サラウンドオーディオリムカメか。
完備か。
すごいねこれ。俺も入ろうかね。
親子で入るなんてみっともない。別のとこにしてよね。
さては何かやったな。
あれ？
保健所行きがそんなに嫌か。
そんなに嫌か。
よくわからんやつだ。
はい。
沢崎さんから電話で聞きました。やっぱりお宅にいるそうですね、ケンちゃん。
ええ、今も不敵な笑みをこっちに向けてますよ。
不敵な不敵な笑みをこっちに。
やっぱり私が預かります。大家さんに頼み込んで 2,3 日くらいならいいって言ってくれたんで。
まあ結構ですよ。
どうしてですか？
いや、もうちょっとね、こいつを研究してみたくなりまして。
研究って、みちるちゃんの大切なペットなんですよ。
まあ生きて返しますよ。それじゃ。
まあ生きて。
ほら、柵があるから大丈夫だぞ。
柵があるから大丈夫だ。
ほら、ビビることないんだ。分かってか。
ビビることない。ビビることないんだ。よし。
よし、行くぞ。
Like I said, just a lot less talking in this episode than compared to the rest. All right. That's probably a lot more meat than that.
って言っただろ。開き直るつもりか。
開き直る急に態度を変えて厳しくなる。覚悟を決めて。開き直る。
ああ、まったく預かってやったもん忘れやがって。ふってぶてしいやつだな、本当に。
王の忘れ上げて王の恩を忘れ上げて預かってやった恩をやげて忘れ上げてふてぶって
こんばんは。
じゃあお願いします。
何かあったんですか、急に預かれたなんて。
もううんざりなんですよ。
うんざりなんですよ。
反省の色がないな。
犬でも人でも必ず欠点はあるんです。
犬でも人でも必ず欠点はあるんです。
ちょっとは寛容さを持たないと。
ちょっと寛容さ。ちょっとは寛容。寛容さ。もったいないと。
説教すか。
それじゃ
説教すか。
行こう。行こう。 うちに来ればもう大丈夫よ。はい、ちょっとそっち行って。はいどうぞ。あれどうしたの？はい。
餌食べてますか？
いや全然。
うちに来た時もそうでしたよ。ほっとくと食べますからね。
そうですか。あれどこ行くの？
あといろんなとこ漁る癖がありますからね。ゴミ箱とかすぐにひっくり返し。
どんなこと漁る癖。Let's see if that's a full word. 漁る癖がありますから。
我慢してください。犬も人間も欠点はありますから。
That's a weak point, right? 欠点が。Wait, that's a lacking. That's not a. Yeah, weak point. 欠点はありますから。
あ、金田更新してますよ。
え？
ちょっとパーティーに行ってきました。
こいつも家に誰もいなくても平気そうなタイプだな。
いや、
こいつも部屋に誰もいなくても平気そう。
家にいなくてもお持ち帰りするからいいんでしょ。
失礼します。子牛のクリームにスイス風でございます。
子牛のクリーム。クリーム。クリームに。教師のクリームにスイス風でございます。
言われなくても分かってます。
言われなくて
ごゆっくりどうぞ。
え？
何なさいますか？じゃあソルティドッグ。
かしこまりました。
ソルティドッグ。
どうも。
ねえねえ、見て。サリーちゃん、可愛いでしょ。
かわいいなあ。あ、そうだ。はい。サリちゃんどうかなと思って。
本当に？嬉しい。ありがと
う。いいえ。
ソルティドッグです。
さん、どうしたんですか？
アドバイスの追加です。散歩の時犬の行く方についていかなくても人の都合で引けば勝手についてくるみたいですから。
都合で引けば勝手についてくるみたいですから。
そうなんですか。早く言ってほしかったです。
それと音楽はワグナーよりもモーツァルトの方が好きみたいですから。
じゃあ聞かせてみます。なんで？
どうかしましたか？
ケンちゃんがいないんです。
今どこですか？
マンション近くの公園です。あれ、どこだろう。探しますんで、ちょっと切りますね。
I guess what I could have done, and I don't like doing it though, it'd be fast forwarding this through these parts again, but it's not too bad. It's obviously not something you got to do if you're doing audiobook, you know, because it's basically going to be text of everything.
Ken!
Ken は言われなくても分かってますよ。
帰ります。
あなたと桑野さん、目が似てる。
本当にありがとうございました。
いえ、お大事に。
ありがとうございました。
お大事に。
よかったね。
ペットを愛せる人は人も愛せる。
桑野さんはペットも愛せないから人も愛せないんですよね。でもお礼は言っときます、桑野さんに。 あ、ご面倒をおかけしてすいませんでした。
いえ。
さあ、我が家だよ。何してるの？早く入って。
忘れよう。
Okay, cool. So yeah, not as much reading with that. Came up to about an hour, you know, a little bit and whatnot, but most of it's just playing, you know, definitely a lot of dead space. And again, that's the reason why if you see me copy paste the subtitles onto the subreddit. In fact, let me turn up the audio real quick of the microphone. Okay, 80 should do it. All right. And yeah, so it came up to about 8,000 or 9,000 characters on this copy. Yeah, and then others, because the limit is 10,000 characters, so I had to spread it out over 2 posts on the majority of these. So they come up to like 14,000 or something like that, depending. Yeah, and again, it's reading. Yeah, now reading subtitles is like reading manga, like we mentioned. So there's a benefit to it. It's a really good benefit because again, majority of what you'll be listening to is conversation talking. So that way, reading subtitles also helps again with understanding what the TV show is saying. So when you rewatch, you get much more comprehension than if you just went straight listening. But it is a limitation. So you know what, personally, I feel if you're reading, you know, once you pass that, you know, I say, hey, get that 2,000 word mark. Try to get there before you really try to get into reading a lot. But let the reading, you know, it can be manga, but you know what? Subtitles work. You know, get the subtitles, read it as you watch, as the show is playing, you know, and you know, it could be a show that you've watched or it could be a show you haven't watched. It can be like your first time through. I've done that. Either way, it's fun. And you know, if you rewatch it, you know, that works too. Yeah, just read, and again, as you read, you get better. That's just how it works. And then expand it where, you know, I've moved up to audiobooks, although I do like reading. I was doing transcripts, but in hindsight, I guess, you know, you don't have to sweat transcripts like I did. Just these happen to be transcripts to shows I have and enjoy watching, so reading to the transcript sounds like a pretty good, fun thing to do. Audiobooks, I've been enjoying the idea of reading the audiobooks, and it just is really cool. Like I'm reading and I'm listening to what's happening, and you know, again, it's the native voice in my head instead of my voice, you know, probably mispronouncing stuff. Inu no nakigoe. ご面倒をおかけしてすみませんでした。You know, these are probably good lines. They're actually in this episode, there was some pretty good, like, you know, when they're introducing to the customer, which is kind of good. Gomei ni narimashita. Like, okay, yeah, a customer appeared. Basically finding out some keigo for business or just talking to people who've helped you out. and then ore itokimasu, like, and yeah, it's going to go and say something nice to the out of appreciation type things. And good thing, I guess a big thing about this is offering thanks. So it's nandake, yeah, like I said, there was just some. This is just again, I personally think this is a pretty good episode to study it. There's also some other good shows on Netflix that are probably dramas. They're not comedies; they're dramas. So, and some of them are heavy dramas because they're dealing with kind of based on real life situations or events. There's one that's is basically based on the airplane. This very horrific airplane crash happened in 1984, but it covers a guy who was, and now it's basically it's not a documentary, and they do change things about the names of companies and persons, but it is based on a real life situation, but they just changed on kind of quite a few things. And they also did it with Humochitai. It's the wasteland, in that again it's based on real people, but they basically change all the names and stuff around the historical event, which is kind of cool. So, and those are really good videos because they are more realistic. Hopefully, less of the overly dramatic stuff that you'll experience with quite a few dramas, at least from what I've noticed. Yeah, so if you get a chance, check those out as well. So that's the another benefit of watching for Netflix. There's just a lot of stuff to. Now that I realize, like, there's quite a few shows that are, like, Genya is by the same author as the one who wrote Yusei no Kizuna, and so the same book. Now, the TV show is definitely different, just because the writer of the TV show has definitely a style, and a very enjoyable style, but that would be much more different. Like, if you'd seen Yusei no Kizuna under a different director and writer for the TV show, and followed a bit of a darker mood, like Gyaku, like under the white moon or something, the tone would be radically different. Like it could be a dark, like less comedy and really dark, like the whole way through. So just something to be thinking about. Because again, you can get into reading it, and what I'm noticing, like I might get it when I get back to that book, is like, because I noticed that when I finished the 5 centimeters a second, it's like, man, that got good at the end. When it was like really the first time just experiencing the story, that portion of the story that wasn't in the movie. And it was way different than Zero no Skyma. I mean, that's just flat out anime. Definitely Eve's story or whatnot. So it's going to be interesting when I get to these other books to start reading. I'm looking forward to it. And again, but just story by story, hour by hour, just slowly making our way through. I might, and again, it just depends on how Harry Potter goes. I feel like I want to do it for like a book, maybe 2 books, and then maybe call it. I don't know. Like I said, it depends on how I'm feeling. But by then, also, I want to then move up to. There are some dramas on Netflix that are based on books that have audiobooks with them. So I like the idea of, oh cool, now I can watch the TV show like this with the subtitles, and like I'm doing here, then read the book the same way, and see how that plays out. And it'll be kind of interesting. There's 2 or 3 TV shows like that. So there's The Flying Tire, Hibana, Sparks, and there's another one. Oh yeah, and it's not on Netflix, but Hanzao Naoki, which also is, again, that TV show. There's 10 episodes, so that's going to be kind of cool. So like Hibana and The Flying Tiger are 5 episodes. Oh, and there's also Shitamachi Raketo. Now there's actually 2 different TV shows, but this one is a 5-episode one, so it's probably just on the first book. And I wish it was the other one, because the other Shitamachi Raketo has the same actor, Abe, but unfortunately, the same actor is here. But there was a one previously that was made. So since that's on Netflix and the subtitles match up, wait a minute, I do have subtitles, don't I? I might check on that, because I do have the videos. I can't. The subtitles won't match, but who cares? Because I'm just gonna have them linked up here. So I might choose that way as well. And again, then do a reading of the book. I think that will be. I mean, that just sounds like fun, and that's like. And when you look at me, I'll be at the like 200, if not 300 hour mark by then, and that'll be kind of exciting. Hopefully, my vocabulary has been increased by that point as well. Like slowly start increasing that. So if I'm doing this for 1 or 2 hours a day for the rest of the year, I think like right now I know I'm at the N3 level, and so hopefully by then I'll definitely be at that N2 level. By N2 I mean 6,000 vocabulary words, 300 hours of reading, and hopefully about 1,500 hours of watching Japanese shows, or at least through the audio. So that could be like active listening. I'm saying watching, but it could also be active listening. It's just being actively involved in Japanese. So time will tell on that. Yeah. So yeah, this is fun. This is and again, I apologize. It felt weird that it was just a lot of non-dialogue was in this episode, but it was kind of fun because, like I said, it's a funny episode. I like the dog is cute, so he's a hard dog not to like. It's probably passed away by now. It's been this TV show's like 14 years ago. So yeah, that cute dog, but yeah, I think he's no longer with us, and I'm not kind of worried about. But yeah, it's I do understand also the sensation of if you have a pet, you be careful, because my wife, she had a long-term pet that had passed away way back a few years ago, and you can tell the emotion again, because you do put you connect your life to the pet, and so it becomes a part of your life, just as and if it passes, and again it's like a part of your world goes with it, it's a nature, it's part of what makes us important thrive as a species, just the ability to do that. And it's interesting that dogs probably have that same type of emotional bonding that goes on. Okay, talking a little bit too much, but yeah, I think it was a fun episode. So definitely, and again, the whole series, I think this is a really good series. If you're going to study a drama, like do a deep dive, this deep TV show is a good show to do a deep dive on. In that, again, especially if you're doing the Morph Man, yeah. So just do it with Donkey and then do it with the Morph Man, because the more I hear about it, the more it's like, man, that would that's really sound like a really cool tool. Like just find 300 to 500 words from the entire series, and just learn those that are unique, most common that you don't know yet, and and by the time you learn those, and where you're watching, I think you get a lot more out of it. It just, and plus again, you can learn a lot more. This is also a show you can watch. You can definitely ask a native Japanese about, get more insight into the life in Japan, as a working adult, which can be important to know. Cool. Okay. Thank you all very much. I saw the the viewing was going from. Went up to 6, down to 2. It's fun. Like I said, after this, it's 4 more episodes, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, so 4 more episodes. And after that, it will be Harry Potter. And again, I think I'll just, again, do half of Harry Potter, then go on to a TV show. Or I might do all of Harry Potter. It just depends on how my mood is. And then, would be kind of interesting. They do have... Yeah, but the audio doesn't match up to the... Yeah, I think it'll be fine, because I don't think the subtitles on Harry Potter for Netflix matches up. If it did, that would be kind of a nice experiment, like I was saying before, like do the movie Harry Potter, then read the book. See, as an experiment, just to show you how it would be going. But yeah, okay, cool. Thank you all very much. It's Nuke Marine, and I'll see you later. Oh, let me say thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. There we go.